Hello, and welcome to the Laser Exclusive, LaSalle's only bi-weekly news show that covers everything LaSalle and beyond. I'm Robbie Rowe. Earlier in November was the 2020 presidential election, which had a record-breaking turnout. We go to Lisa Ortiz for more.
Following a presidential race like no other, Joe Biden has been declared President-elect of the United States. This 2020 election was between current Republican President Donald Trump and Democrat former Vice President Joe Biden. Due to COVID-19, many people chose to use absentee ballots instead of going to the polls. In fact, 65 million Americans chose to do this. Some states, like Massachusetts, had early voting. Because of this, it took much longer for the votes to be counted, and the winner was not declared on the election night. Key states like Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina continued to count their votes until 5 days after the election. Finally, on Saturday, November 7th, enough votes were counted in order to declare Joe Biden the 46th President of the United States. Biden's victory would not have come without certain battleground states flipping the way they had voted in previous elections. Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia all flipped, ensuring him a larger victory than had been anticipated. It was the first time that Georgia had voted Democrat since Bill Clinton won the state in 1992. Biden won the state by a margin of fewer than 13,000 votes. The largest come-from-behind victory of the election was Biden's home state of Pennsylvania, where Trump had a 700,000 vote lead, but Biden made up the deficit with a mail-in ballots, which proved to be a majority Democrat. Nevada was one of the last states to finish counting, emphasizing accuracy over speed. According to the state, they had an unprecedented number of mail-in ballots. Many people questioned how long it took for the votes to be counted, but Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford backed up the vote counters by saying, "Election officials must ensure that no one has more than one vote." Biden's eventual victory in the battleground state was only 33,000 votes. Some Republicans questioned the authenticity of the votes and the election as a whole, sparking widespread recounts, one of which included Georgia. After Georgia's recount, Biden was still declared the winner. A projected 159.8 million Americans voted in the 2020 presidential election. This total marks a record number of ballots cast in a presidential election and the highest voter turnout rate among eligible citizens since 1900. 2020 was certainly a historic election. In the aftermath of the election, President Trump seemingly became hostile, as even when the election was called for Biden, he refused to accept defeat. As of today, there are 58 days left of his term in office. Continue to pay attention to the White House, as the drama of this election is likely far from over. Reporting for LCTV, I am Lisa Ortiz.
Thank you, Lisa. When it comes to voting on campus, LaSalle Votes is a great resource. Adam Hallenbeck had the opportunity to follow up with student leader Michael Wu for more on how the election turned out.
What statistics did you receive after voting day?
Yeah, we didn't receive any stats as of yet because it takes time for all the data to get out there. So we typically receive that report, several months after, just so because they're doing all colleges in the United States. So, they're kind of busy on their end to get those reports to us. So we should know hopefully by the summer is, the projection of getting those, how many people we registered, and then also how many LaSalle folks actually went out and voted.
Non-statistically, do you feel that LaSalle had a good turnout? Did you see a lot of people talking about the election? Did you feel like it had the awareness that you wanted it to?
Yeah, I would say for sure. A lot of students who I've talked to, were talking about getting their mail-in ballots or talking about going in person during break or on a weekend or early voting. And so I think there was a lot of hype about it, which was really great to see from our end, from LaSalle Votes. And I think, a lot of students took the opportunity to ask questions, through different means. So, for example, in person, asking me or just emailing us, or just kind of swiping up on the story or something. So I think we were able to reach a lot of folks in answering and helping them create their voter plans.
So what's next for LaSalle Votes now? What is your guys' new focus now that the election has come and gone?
Great question. Yeah. So we're going to look towards future elections. And of course, we want to, really point out local elections and then midterm elections as well. So that's coming up 2022. And so we're looking at other things out there. We're definitely going to take a break because there was a lot gearing up for this 2020 election. But we're also going to think strategically of what's the future of LaSalle Votes and how we can better establish ourselves as kind of this niche organization that's kind of, has students but also faculty members, and what that means moving forward for us, in terms of getting more students involved and getting more faculty involved. So we're going to really think strategically as we move forward.
Thanks, Adam. Although this year's election was historic, it is not the only pressing matter in this country today. There has been another rise in COVID-19 cases nationwide, including here at LaSalle, with 9 new positive cases in the past week. Looking at Massachusetts as a whole, COVID-19 cases have begun to rise again, with about 2,339 new cases being reported each day. Since cases are on the rise again, Governor Charlie Baker has set new restrictions in hopes of slowing down the sudden rise. Governor Baker issued a stay-at-home advisory and recommended people to stay away from any unnecessary activities. Residents are required to be back home by 10 p.m. Restaurants are required to close their dining areas and to stop selling alcohol around 9:30 p.m. Everyone is now required to wear face coverings whenever they go out, even if they are 6 feet away from each other. Gatherings are limited to only 10 people if they're indoors and 25 people if they are outside, and all events must be over by 9:30 p.m. Anyone who doesn't follow the gathering rules will be fined $500 for each person above the gathering limit. Remember that these restrictions are for everyone's safety, including your own, especially because with Thanksgiving being this Thursday. For more on the LaSalle community's Thanksgiving plans, I'll send it over to Taylor Viles, who has the story.
Thanksgiving break offers an interesting obstacle for students and their families when classes finish up for the week on Tuesday. Many state government officials have stated that traveling for the holidays is unwise as coronavirus cases around the country are beginning to rise. They have also advised that large family gatherings would not be the best decision. We asked members of the LaSalle community what their plans are for the break. What are your plans for Thanksgiving break?
I'm just staying home. We don't have family or at all right now, so can't visit.
Finally gonna get to go home, see my family, spend some time. Looking forward to it. Have some turkey. Big turkey guy, so.
I'm heading home and I'm going to spend the time with my family.
I'm gonna go home and spend some time with my family. Haven't seen them in a while, so.
Have those plans changed at all because of COVID?
Only difference is the size now. It's just me and my immediate family. We're not doing the big gathering anymore,
Oh, definitely. I'm not seeing most of my family. It's really just only a couple people. I probably won't get to have dinner with my grandparents, but that's about it.
Not really. I mean, most of the time when I went home, it would just be go home for Thanksgiving and then just stay home. But this year, it's kind of just they want you to really travel. And I guess maybe I'll limit myself on visiting friends, but that's kind of just how it's going to be.
Not too drastically, but a little bit, yeah.
Yes, because normally I would travel or go visit family or family would come to us.
Do you feel safe with how your plans are set up now?
Yeah.
With the condensed environment, we're definitely not going to be spreading any corona, so absolutely.
I definitely do because I know my family's been kind of taking care of themselves and isolated, and I know that I'll get tested before going home, so.
Campus will remain open during the week for students who live too far away to head home or those who have decided that the risk is just too high for them to travel. Thanksgiving break officially begins on Wednesday, and for those who leave for the break, they will be welcomed back on Monday the 30th. In-person classes will resume the following day or after a student has received a negative test. Reporting for LCTV, I'm Taylor Viles.
Thank you, Taylor. And again, remember to get tested before you leave for Thanksgiving and get tested the day you get back. Shifting to LaSalle news, with an increase in the number of thefts, the school has decided to temporarily shut down the 1851 Marketplace in Arno Campus Center so they can review the security footage and address the problem. Because of the amount of theft, the store has lost a lot of money in merchandise, causing the inevitable shutdown. Remember to make sure all your items are scanned and you are successfully purchasing your items in the future in order to keep the store open for all the students at LaSalle. The end of the semester is quickly approaching, but there are still some exciting events happening around campus. LaSalle Cheer is currently holding a toy drive through December 7th and has placed boxes in STC, Arno, and near the dining hall for anyone who would like to donate a toy for those in need. Similarly, Studio 1851 is holding a coat drive for those in need. Through December 14th, they are accepting coats in the box outside the Studio 1851 store by the Glow Lounge. It is a great way to give a greater purpose to the unused coats taking up space in your closet. That is all for this episode of the Laser Exclusive. I'm Robbie Rowe, and I will see you next time.